Previously on EMC Productions. We are going to WGI World Championships in Dayton, Ohio. So I am now inside the University of Dayton Arena. I'll let you know how that goes. Alright, I'm now back home after an insane weekend of WGI. I was able to meet up with a whole bunch of old friends, which that's always fun. And I was able to meet up with some new friends and some fans of my YouTube channel. Got a whole lot of pictures taken. I signed a pair of somebody's sticks. That was the first time I ever did that. That was pretty cool. But probably the funniest interaction I had with a fan was when I was in line at Wendy's. Some guy came up to me and said that he loves watching me take a dump. Now, of course, he's talking about my second YouTube channel, the EMC Dump. And when I make videos for that, I refer to it as me taking a dump. At least that's what I hope he was talking about. And I also was able to post Chickens and Demons full show.
Came first, the chicken or the demon?
By the way, congratulations to them for getting first place in Galactic class and getting promoted to the Intergalactic class for next year. Way to go, Carmen Heights. Way to go. But let's talk about some of these shows that I was able to watch. There was a whole lot of really cool shows this year. I was able to check out all of the independent world groups inside the arena, and I got to watch most of the Scholastic world groups in the lot as well. A lot of good stuff going on. I was actually really impressed by the bass drum lines in particular this year. There's a lot of really hard bass drum features that were executed really, really well, so good job, bass drums. And congratulations to Chino Hills for winning the Scholastic World Class and to Broken City for winning the Independent World Class and also getting a world record for highest score ever. That's pretty cool. But once again, scores don't matter and nobody cares. But still, that's a huge accomplishment for winning, so good job. But I don't care about the scores. But congratulations. And congratulations to all the other groups. Actually, I don't know who won Open Class or Ed Class. Let me, hold on. We got Sparkman High School winning Scholastic Open, Bakersfield College winning Independent Open, and we got Grand Blanc, I don't know how to say that, Grand Blanc High School and Unity Percussion winning the A class. That's actually the hardest one to win. There's a crap ton of A class groups, so big accomplishment there for those groups. Congratulations. And even if your group got like 186th place, still congratulations on competing and having an excellent season. At least I'll assume it was excellent, because you probably worked really hard. So even if you got dead last, good job. But I got some awards of my own to give out. This is my recap on the napkin from IHOP. EMC Awards for the Independent World Class. Here we go. The best show overall goes to Infinity, and they also won the fan favorite, which is well deserved. And yeah, I loved this show a lot. It was really cool and really entertaining, and I understand what was happening conceptually. That's important. A lot of these shows are like pretty artsy-fartsy, and I don't really know what the heck is going on in the concept, but this one I was able to follow easily, so thank you, Infinity, for that. I think they got like 9th place or something like that. That was pretty low. I don't really get scoring at all. Like, for the best and most exciting show, I felt like it should have been higher, but I don't know. Probably like some judge in GE is probably like, oh, I don't like how they played. They should have sashayed. Where I'm just sitting there freaking out about how the tenors are playing wearing stilts. That was crazy. And also there was like a bass drum feature that was like 30 seconds long with the like spinning, flipping stands. That was cool. I actually couldn't hear it at all in the stands because everybody around me was clapping and freaking out. But I assume that it was really clean. Good job, Infinity. You had my favorite show. The best lot performance, that goes to Pulse, as I stated earlier. Their lot was really exciting, and their battery played show chunks in battery ensemble, and I got some really good footage of that. The best battery, as in snare, tenor, bass, cymbal ensemble, that goes to Broken City. I was actually really impressed with how they played so many isolated attacks so clean. Like, that was really impressive. Like, I kind of do that in like that drama in the drumline video. I did it sort of like as a joke because I'm listening to a click. But they did it in real life. Like, that's really hard coming in off of 8 measures of rest and playing unison sextuplet singles. So they did that a whole bunch in the show, and it was kind of funny, but also really awesome and definitely really difficult. So that was impressive. Winning Best Front Ensemble, this is gonna go to Matrix. I really liked that Ragtime Robin feature that you guys did. I actually played that when I was in college, and that is a really fun xylophone rag. But they played it as part of the show, and it was really, really good and really clean, and that's really, really difficult as well. So I enjoyed that part very much, and the rest of the show was also really hard. I mean, there was a whole lot of really good front ensembles, but that Ragtime Robin feature really set them to the top of front ensembles for me. The Scott Johnson Award for Best Snare Line, that's gonna go to Rhythm X. I really liked their snare feature, and I thought it was insane how they were playing, but it sounded like tenors. Like, that was crazy. That's some Galactic class skills right there. Like, they were doing all this stuff, no snare sound, just tenor sound. I don't know how they did it, but that was really exciting. And I heard that for winning this award, Scott Johnson is going to give a pair of his signature sticks to every Rhythm X fan. That's just what I heard. I don't know. Next is the Bill Bachman Award for Best Tenor Line, and there was actually a little bit more rim ticking in the tenor features than I had hoped for. Not everyone, but a good portion of the groups we had some rim ticks in there. So let's improve on that next year. Can we get a hashtag no rim tick 2020? Not that any tenor line was bad, like everyone had like really clean runs, but we gotta get those ticks out of there, ladies and gentlemen. So, but anyways, I thought Music City Mystique had a really good and clean tenor line, so they should win this award. But RCC is gonna win this award because they gave me free Powerade, and this judge takes bribes. So if you're trying to win one of these awards in the future, you know what you gotta do. And I also heard that Bill Bachman will be giving a set of Dynasty tenors to every single RCC fan. That's just what I'm hearing out through the grapevine. The Energizer Bunny Best Bass Drum Award. This goes to Atlanta Quest. They were actually the very first group on, placed at the very bottom, which placements are stupid and don't make sense, but these guys had like a really, really clean bass line, and I was able to check them out in the lot too, and that stuff was hitting every single rep, and they had a lot of exposed bass drum moments, and they were all really good, so I'm gonna give it to them. The Energizer Bunny will be giving Easter baskets to every Atlanta Quest fan as well. Next is the Charlie Chimp Best Cymbal Line Award, and that's gonna go to Infinity for their super awesome and really difficult cymbal feature that was clean as heck. What really impressed me was that Buggada 16th note triplet split. That was insanely good. And for winning this award, Charlie the cymbal playing chimp will be throwing feces at every Infinity fan. So get ready for that. The Best Flub Line. Nobody actually had a flub line for their entire show, but this is gonna go to Pulse because of their tom-tom feature on the props, and that was a really cool moment. They were running around in between each other doing some pretty cool tom-tom stuff. That was definitely one of the more memorable moments of all of the world class, so that's gonna go to them. The Best Slapstick Line. That is gonna go to Rhythm X because they actually had a slapstick line for a good part of their show. And that was actually pretty impressive. Like, there was some unison slapstick hits in there, and they were all clean, which that's incredibly hard to do, so good job with that. The Best Flexitone Line, also going to Rhythm X, the quad line. They played some flexitone parts. That was very, very funny and kind of cool. I actually liked Rhythm X's show a lot. It was really quirky and interesting. Best flexitone playing I've ever seen. The best synth player is gonna go to Monarch. As I mentioned earlier, there was a really, really difficult and super long solo at their end of their show from the synth player, and he nailed it, and it was really cool and really exciting. The Damien Ghoul Award for Best Ghost Notes. If you've never heard of Damien Ghoul, well, that's probably because he's a ghoul. That goes to United Percussion with their show about Beethoven. That was actually really cool how they did a lot of their parts with ghost notes and regular notes. Like, that's really, really difficult, and they played it really, really cleanly. Some cool stuff. really appreciate it, and so does Damien Gould. The Benjamin Franklin Award for Best Electronics, that's going to go to Music City Mystique. They actually had these props out on the floor that had microphones in them, and it was really neat what they did with them. They would kind of distort the sound, what was happening on the floor, and there would be like a bass drum feature where all 5 bass drums were in front of a microphone, so you'd hear the bass splits as normal, but also some distorted, crazy sounding stuff that was clean with the bass line's clean splits, and that was really neat, like the way they did it. So Benjamin Franklin would be proud. There's going to be no actual giving away of anything by Benjamin Franklin because he's dead. Anyways, next up we have the Best Gok Block Award. That's going to go to Rhythm X Bass Drum Line. They had a ton of crap mounted on their bass drums. I think they had like snare guts, and they had cowbells and Gok blocks. I think they had kitchen sinks on their drums too. I liked in the one bass drum feature they were splitting on the drums and on the Gok blocks, and they did like a laser split all the way down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they did it on the drum a couple times, then on the Gok blocks, and that was, I actually laughed out loud in the audience. That was really interesting and really clean. So excellent Gok block playing. The award for Best Set Design, as in total visual package, that's going to go to Cap City. Their setup was really interesting. They had tons of huge props all over the place. Their show was about sewing, and they had giant like knitting needles crossed all over and huge, what I think were sewing machines in the corners. And they had the members like attach the thread to them and were like walking around trying to get out. It was definitely very elaborate. I kind of felt like I was watching more of like a Broadway performance than an indoor drumline show. So that was very entertaining and very exciting. I'm sure it took a lot of effort to get all that stuff together. The award for Best Uniforms is going to POW Percussion. I really liked how their uniforms matched with the background of their floor and props, and their mask looked really cool on them, and I thought that show really stood out visually from every other show. The Best Props is going to go to Strike. So they had the snare line like hook into these props and get like lifted up off the ground, and then they rotated them back. I actually thought they were gonna flip them like all the way upside down and around and do some like crazy stuff, but that didn't happen. But it was still cool. Like they got up on these platforms and they were being pushed around at pretty high speeds and playing some pretty cool and clean stuff, and that's definitely, sure took a lot of effort to build that stuff and to clean all that, so nice work. The Best Drill goes to Dark Sky Percussion. This show was really unique as well. The drumline didn't actually wear their drums at all. That was like the whole concept of the show. They had their drums attached to these props that were also like ladders, and they wheeled the drums all over, and they would play on them like with one hand or have somebody else moving it, and they'd climb up the ladder and raise the drum up or flip the drum on its side. That was a very interesting idea and well thought out, and I thought it was very well executed as well. The Dennis Rodman Award for Most Street Cred, that's going to go to George Mason University. So this show was actually really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. The setup was sort of like the inner city, like little subway seats and graffiti all over the place. And the story was their center snare was an up-and-coming artist trying to sell his music.
Did you like my mixtape? Thank you so much.
And the cool thing is that their center snare actually is an up-and-coming artist trying to sell his music. So if you'd like to support an up-and-coming fellow marching percussion artist, his name is Joseph Noah. He is on Spotify. Go ahead and check out some of his music. And finally, the most important award for Best Rack Players. That's going to go to Music City Mystique. Like I said, they totally stole the show in the lot and stole my heart. Excellent performing from those guys, and I actually got a special little compilation for you, courtesy of Captain Nate Morris. He took some videos from up in the stands in the arena of just the rack players to show how awesome these people are, because I feel like the rack players really don't get the credit they deserve. Like, those are all soloistic instruments for the entire show, and yeah, they all nail the parts. Let's give a big round of applause to all our rack players. But before that, make sure you subscribe to my channel, EMC Productions, and click that Liberty Bell so you get notified right away when I post new videos, and buy a custom t-shirt. I'll leave the link for that in the description, and have a good morning.
sets out to create an effect.
Okay, buddy. Oh, can I explain like a